Your boy making cold cuts, and I ain't talking about the sandwiches.
I'll really cherish this friendship because of the conversations we have.
Why you come to mind as a person who understands resilience is because of that, the way you approach learning.
I feel like for myself, I don't want to go after achievements as much as I want to become what will running the marathon. Who would that turn me into?
Look at your improvement differently. How to
Yeah.
gain strength by redefining what strength is.
I don't know why I believe in myself so much, but I know I have to. I know if I do, great things are gonna happen, and not good, just great.
Leaving a place of safety and joy and feeling good and potentially risking changing that environment.
I have the answers inside of me. That's what I'm saying to myself. That's how I have it defined. Of now, I don't have all the answers
Ah,
because once I start going outside myself, I don't know shit.
because you cannot sustain long enough to see that reality create itself if you're not resilient.
You don't know who I am when I walk in the building because my resiliency is invisible. When it comes to resiliency, it's not a can question. I want people to understand that too. It's a will you.
A lot of people don't realize it's a choice, so they don't realize they're choosing not to.
It'll make us into where we're the type of people where we're way more equipped, we're way more adaptable, we understand and connect better, and that's what I'm looking for is like, you know what I'm saying, helping other people out too.
Let me just start by saying it's good to see you, bro. I'm like, I see you with the fresh cut. You look good. You look like things are
Appreciate
going
you.
well. Just
They
as
are.
somebody who has known you for years, and like, it's crazy because our relationship, I feel like, has been positive from day one. But a lot of what brought you to mind in this regard, when I think about all the kinds of conversations we have, they're not like, on paper, they're not positive. Like they're, you know what I mean? Like there's some friendships where you have the kind of rapport you have is like, you're talking about, oh, money, females, like fun things, or like partying, like
Exactly.
you or hoop, and like those are the kind of like male friendship topics. And I feel like for somebody, I feel like was just an instant connection of like day one, locked in, never had a question of like your energy and stuff like that. Looking back through the Rolodex of the things that we talk about, it's consistently not positive in the way that those vibes are. Like we've always had very heavy, real conversations. And so today when I was thinking about just persistence in the sense of like resilience, what
Yeah.
it really means to be resilient. I wasn't even surprised that you were the first person to pop into my mind because so much of what we talk about is not just everything that I've talked about up to this point in this podcast. So like I've talked about grit, I've talked about a lot of the recipe for mental fortitude, but I feel like resilience is a different beast altogether. And I feel like I'm very excited for this conversation because of all the other conversations we've already had.
Well, first off, I appreciate that. You've been the homie since I met you at LA Film School in the little tour. Not even day one in there, but like before that. But I feel the same way. I feel like we have that. It seems unpositive because it's real deep conversations about like what's really happening, and a lot of adjustments need to be made on both sides in certain places. And I feel like when we have those conversations, sometimes I might not be aware, or you might not be aware, and we bring things to the light, and it's beautiful. It's like, oh, wow, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even think about that, and I was moving in this direction and pushing the dominoes in this direction. And I might not want that to happen. I might not, you know what I'm saying? That might not be the best for me if I'm really like trying to
Hmm.
be who you know what I'm saying, who I say I am. Exactly. So it's one of those things where I'll really cherish this friendship because of the conversations we have. when it comes to resiliency, I think you're right. When it comes to the grit and persistence, like I was watching that podcast and I really liked that episode, and I feel like resiliency somewhere past being persist. You have to be a certain level of persistence, but it's somewhere before grit. I would say on that spectrum of where you have to. And I think a lot of our conversations, I'm vulnerable because I trust you. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain level of trust that we have because of how long we've been doing things, what we've seen, the journeys we went through at LA Film School. You know what I'm saying? Like you were a little before me, so you got to, big brother me in certain ways of like showing me, hey, this is what's coming up. You know what I'm saying? Have you thought about this? Transmedia. Whew. You know what I'm saying? Big, big things that I was like, whoa, it's a big, big topic. So like for me, being able to bounce back, because I really felt like in LA Film School that I was one of the stupidest people in there. Every time I was in there, I was like, these people are so smart. And like, I need to think. It's because I wasn't thinking in the ways that they were thinking. But I got to, you know what I'm saying? You got to help me through that. So like a lot of my trust comes from that. And through building and the things that we've done with music and the conversations we've had, it's been excellent on my part, man. But yeah, that's what I feel like with the grit and all that. Like it's right there. It sits right there, man. It's like somewhere in between that little fine space of where you have to like be vulnerable. I think that's a
I
big part of
love that that's the word you brought up because I think that's one of the biggest distinguishing factors between grit and resiliency.
it.
Grit is like that force, it's more of a forceful thing. It's like anybody can activate grit.
Yes.
It's tearing your teeth down and like it's an action oriented thing. But I think true resilience is less action, more of a fortitude or an internal thing. I would say grit is external. It's an external reaction to something that has happened, whereas resilience is an internal thing. Like
Yes.
resiliency does not require external catalyst. Like resiliency is an
Yes.
ongoing thing. Like you have to like grit. I think my uncle and I talked about grit being something that you acquire, and why people think that is because it is action oriented, where resiliency is necessary for grit because you have to be able to sustain. You have to be able to continue to like it's not even a continuation, it's an existence. It's an ongoing
Exactly.
thing. Like as soon as you're born into a world like this, it requires resiliency on every level, physically, mentally, emotionally. Of like your cells have to be
Yep.
resilient as they fight these attacks. Like your mind has to be resilient as you undergo trauma that inevitably helps you grow. Like your body has to be resilient even from outside of the cellular level of like just to survive. Like in the oldest
Yes.
days history of like resilience, I think grit is more of a like a pushing, it's a motion or an action, whereas resilience is simply the existing. It's the existing piece of whatever it is you're trying to get to. And it's funny because we're talking about this, we're really mixing up the recipe for mental fortitude as a whole, but these subtleties are so drastically different when we start having real conversations about when to
Yes.
focus on what and what is
Exactly.
actually
And then
why.
there you can also get it twisted with redemption, where people be feeling like they need to redeem themselves. They then went down a path that sent them. They did something that they maybe spiritually can't get away from, or something they strayed from the path, and that's a whole different territory where I feel like resilience is like a bounce back. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like not. It's like a setback, whereas like redemption, you done went a little too far, maybe.
Yeah. You're trying to
You know what I'm
get
saying?
back.
Yeah, by your own means, because internally, and I feel like there's a difference there, and I'm glad that it's clear that we, you know what I'm saying, distinguish those things too, because it's a lot of people, you know what I'm saying. I run with Marathon Run Club, you know what I'm saying.
Mhm.
We ran a half marathon today. It's my first time doing it, but like a lot of those people's stories are, man, they have a lot going on, and they're some of the most resilient people I've met. It's just one of those things where I'm like, I hear stories and I'm just like, whoa, like I do what I'm doing and I feel like I'm resilient, but there are levels to this because people are going through things I couldn't even imagine. And when you hear it and you're just like, whoa, like I just support it 100% because and I learned from it of like, ooh, if I were to see that, how would I react? You know what I'm saying? It poses that question.
They say a smart person learns from everything.
Yeah.
A dumb person learns from their own experiences. I saw this quote the other day, and it said, um, "Idiots know everything; they already know all the answers." Something
Yeah.
to that effect. And I feel like when you talk about resilience in that way of like a lot of why you come to mind as a person who understands resilience is because of that, the way you approach learning. And like if
Mhm.
you learn, you know what I'm saying? Like the way you can learn from yourself in
Yeah.
ways that really get deep. It's like a lot of people are, we're all doing this, but not everybody is able to follow it so subconsciously in the way that I feel like you do. It's like you often find you reverse engineer your revelations a lot of time of like when you find yourself running marathons and being attracted to these groups, it's because you are resilient and you're finding people who it's a brighter signal to what you already resonate with like a light tower. It's like you're following those, and then you're learning more about you because of these people who inevitably resonate with you.
No, definitely. I agree 100%. And it's amazing how like just the like you were saying the collective versus the individual and like just getting around other it's just so unique because I feel like I'm just one person. I can go out and run 13 miles. I've done it and it's just not 13, but I've done like 10 by myself and just randomly doing. You remember in 21 I was just running and it was just
Man,
like it was different and it was hard. It was not the same motivation, but I'm glad I did it because it prepared me for where I'm at. But like now that I'm as a collective, so much easier. I don't need headphones. I don't need certain things. Like it's just I can go, and it's even when we do movement runners. When shout out to them. Like when we're running, it's the same thing as a pack. It's just a different feeling, and I think that I love being in the community. That's one thing, and learning from people within the community with that because it's like everybody has things that they can learn from. And I always try to approach it like that because it's just like I've learned from everything, experiences, like you were saying. That's the best way to do it because it's like experiences in your life, their life, wherever. Because it's like, bro, there's no way you're gonna tell me you're gonna let something just keep happening in your life if you don't want it to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to like it might just be something you don't like doing, but you're like, no, I gotta get this out of here. You know what I'm saying? This is bad for me. And when you take that approach, like I'll just be having to. There's certain things that when you become aware of them, you just can't like, it comes really back down to awareness. You know, that's really where it is.
oh, so sorry. I'm like Jimmy Neutron, blame Brass because this is everything, bro. Especially in this season that I'm in, where you hear you. I've told you about this book that I'm trying to write, and you're always hearing me like talk about these ideas that all come back to awareness and like the conscious versus the subconscious, all these psychological things. But you've hit a, a great vein I want to mine in when we talk about resilience, when you talk about belief. Like
Mm,
belief is such a big part of resilience because you have to believe in the
yeah,
idea of being resilient in a way that that's the
yeah,
big distinctions, but too of like grit. You don't have to believe in grit to have grit to like activate grit. You have in order to be resilient, you have to believe in your ability and that sustainability and that
and you're
survival.
and you're right. Subconsciously, I have unlocked in certain ways that I'm not even aware of. That I'm like, whoa, I'm tapped in, but I'm aware that I'm unaware. If that makes sense. I'm still working
Bro.
on it, and
And
it's a
that's what
thing.
that's the best way to describe of like when I think of you and why I be telling you you're different from these other people, it's because that what you're describing of like that unknown belief in you that keeps you humble and keeps you like, but it keeps you on the path too. It keeps you able to understand these things that I'm talking about, even when you don't understand what I'm talking about. It's like,
Yeah,
there's something here. I don't know what it is yet, but you know, like it creates that investigative nature. It creates that ability to understand there's value in people. There's value in their stories. There's value in their experiences. Even when you don't understand what that value is to you in that moment, you
exactly.
receive it because you understand resilience in that way of like, if I just keep collecting, if I just continue, I will definitely get what I will accomplish. I don't know what I'm trying to accomplish, but I will accomplish something. That's something that people don't believe.
Yeah, and really, in this season of life, it's not really even. I feel like for myself, I don't want to go after achievements as much as I want to become what will running the marathon. Who would that turn me into? Well, now I know I can run at a certain pace. I can get to you at a certain pace. If I get that under 4 hours, it's like I can get there. I can probably have enough energy to help. So if there's something going on, it's like I think like that in terms of that because I've seen what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? As a human being, you can go through anything. Anything can happen at any moment. So it's just like I really want to, but I'm in my Bob the Builder arc. I'll say that. I wrote that in my journal the other day, and I'm really sticking to that right now. Of like, I really want to build. I've done a lot of destroying in ways that I'm not very happy about, and I didn't think I was really aware of. So now it's
Mhm.
that time of building and seeing when people come through and destroy. I have to now sit back and go, yeah, you know what I'm saying. You can destroy my sandcastle. I'm gonna have to rebuild that. I'm gonna have to be resilient because it's just like that's just what it is. I done did it to people. I didn't, and unawarely, sometimes I knew. Sometimes I knew exactly what I was doing. So it's just like when it comes back and you know what I'm saying, certain forms, I'm gonna understand, but I'm gonna also rebuild and build it better. That's what it comes with resiliency too. Is like I a lot of times do things and I break, and I don't let people see it in certain ways, but I do break. I am human, so it's like when I break, it's picking up the pieces not as fast as possible, but by myself, so that you know what I'm saying, like by the time I come back, I'm even better. But you have to be vulnerable. I think in this equation, you're gonna need vulnerability. You're gonna need to be transparent with yourself, and the other. You're gonna need a third party person probably too to give you because you helped me with a lot of things. But like, you have to be real, and a lot of people in this age are not real with themselves. So it's like that's where they're lacking in certain areas. But if they were to be 100% real and then have, like you said, 100% of that belief. I don't know why I believe in myself so much, but I know I have to. I know if I do, great things are gonna happen, and not good, just great. It's a difference. It's a whole different level when I start doing that. I show up to the party like that. It's a whole. It doesn't have to even be a party, but like when you show up like that and you show up for yourself, man, you unravel other things. You start to push the dominoes in other ways, and that's where you've become of like, why do I have to play over with these dominoes where I'm pushing and I'm hurting people? I'm in this thing where I can help and I can build, I can do other things. And I think when you get to that point, it's a beautiful place to be in.
It is, and I love the Bob the Builder terminology,
I fucking hated Bob the
especially.
Builder. I hated it growing up. I fucking hated Bob the Builder. By the way, because my brother used to put that on. He used to rewind that, and
Oh, the
man, yeah, that's
Builder.
horrible. But yes, bro, I hated that. That song came on, I was cussing up a storm. You know what I'm saying? But like, that's the arc. I feel like that's the mindset right now.
And it's so important to understand why destruction is a part of that and the
Yep.
role it plays in building. You can't
Yeah.
build things until you destroy,
Yes.
until you remove that the old shit. It's like we don't understand enough or converse enough about the exchange.
Ooh.
Everything is an exchange in this world, in this reality of like you can't build on top of shit that needs to be destroyed because it's
Yeah.
gonna be that foundation,
Ooh.
bro. And when we talk about our relationship and the growth and development, not just as people and individuals, but as friends, it's like it's crazy when we reflect on the differences and being able to see the exchange that we've had of like in one another's lives and being able to not just like, oh, this is my, you see what I'm saying? Like to go deeper of like, yeah, this is my friend. They support me. They look out for me. It's good to be around them. But it's like, no, this taking it deeper, taking it further, moving through strife, moving through friction, moving through life, and understanding this person is like this is a person who can help me get where I'm going, not from a fiscal or you know what I'm saying? Like it's not
Yeah.
financial, it's not worldly. It's like you have to know it.
Yeah.
The those known unknowns that you're talking about, it's like how when you talk about being real, it's about being able to listen to yourself in a way that goes beyond your vocal box, your vocal cords,
Yes.
paying attention to the things that happen not just to you and in your life, but internally, how you react to certain stimuli internally of
Yes.
like when somebody asks me that question, why does Bob the Builder irritate me? And being able to get to a place where I'm like, this is that era. This is the time for that. To like, I've done the work of sitting down and asking those questions and going around in those circles and arriving at this place where now I have a completely different view on things I thought I already knew.
Man. And that is, yeah, that is so humbling too. That place right there, you get that seat right there, dog. That is one of them seats. That's why
The
I'm
hot
like,
seat
oh,
don't always burn, right? Like that. Sometimes it's lit. When you
yeah,
cold, when you coming from the tundra, the hot seat is the exact place you want to be.
that's
Other
true.
people running from it. They got them
Yes.
sweat. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the power of perspective and awareness and reflection, and like resilience becomes so instrumental because you have to be able to sustain. Like you don't know what it is immediately. You don't know things like life is full of different processes. And the thing that moves you through those processes is the resilience. Like even in joyful things where you talk about again, running. You run because you love it and it's good for you and it helps you, but you got to have the resilience to go with that. You have to have the resilience to explore that. And
Yeah.
it takes a lot. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of discipline. But understanding and learning and growing through that process. Like when you first started running, you didn't know about running.
Nope.
Those feelings were
Not at
always
all.
there, but you didn't understand them. You didn't
No,
know.
at all. At all. Didn't
And you
have the,
learn.
yeah, learn how to breathe. I had to learn other things to come into running with. You know what I'm saying? That was because you learn certain things. I learned breathing, and when I was boxing, I was like, oh man, and I had to go out of it and bring that there. It was just like, and you know what I'm saying? It's but like you said, it's
Serves you
you
in
know,
life. You're taking the man, that's another avenue with when you talk about resilience. Another reason I think both of us understand resilience and have this conversation is like sports.
yes,
So much of like we were both played so many sports at
yes,
different levels and like you don't realize the things that it's teaching you when you're young.
yeah. It's a lot of Mr. Miyagi of like wax on, wax off,
Man,
and you're like, oh,
that's a bar.
this, yeah, and it's like it's you figure out though,
You think it's
you get it,
dumb. And you're
yeah,
like, this is everything. I'm so glad I have this.
yeah, bro, and it's crazy. It's I found myself doing things. It's just I don't know if that comes with age. I don't know what that is, but I feel like I've been learning lately of that. It's been showing itself in my life a lot more.
It's resilience, bro. I feel like when
Yeah,
you're a kid, you don't have to do those things. Like you don't
yeah,
have to play. You see all the people who fall off because they don't want to. Like they
yeah.
you could play video games, you could go
It
talk
is
to girls.
maintenance.
Like it's
Yeah,
decisions that you're making to continue to compete. Like and what like you can't get past those junctures without resilience because you never start off top dog. Even when you start off as the top dog, it takes resilience to hold that spot. A lot comes with it. It's hard being the person that people are looking at, the person standing out when you don't want to. Like that's
yeah,
one thing you and I have always had in common. It's like we're not, hey, oh, look at me. Like it's never really
yeah,
about us, but everything is about our growth, our
yeah,
learning. Like, how do I show up better in the world? Like these kinds of things that takes resilience because of like you were talking about, it's like being able to acknowledge you weren't always moving how you should, how you want it to
yes,
be. Like,
for sure.
and sometimes you want it to be moving shiesty. Like,
Yeah,
like
there was
you
times I
got to
was.
do that work. You got to be
Yeah.
okay with acknowledging those parts of yourself. It's like that was part of my journey too. Like I thought differently back then. Like, and it was authentic. At that time, it was the
Yep.
authentic me.
That was me. I done did a lot of things where I'm like, whoa, man. But it's at the same time,
Crazy.
it's like learn, yeah. But you learn, you live and you learn, and it's like now come back from that. That's the challenge for me, and I put it myself. A lot of the times, it's like, okay, you did such and such. Now figure it out. You know what I'm saying? You put your hand in the cookie jar, and you pulled it down and broke it. Now put it back together. Figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
mom's gonna be home in 2 hours, so it's like one of those things where you got to just run with it. You know what I'm saying? Like figure it out, and that could look a lot of different ways. But you have to start with the belief in yourself. Hold on, I'm gonna figure this out. I got
This
this.
is not the
Okay,
end.
bro. Okay, we have YouTube now. All right, I'm gonna look how to fix this right quick before she gets home and tears me a new one. You know what I'm saying? It's like you that belief of like right there, you just center in on it. If you do that with that type of energy, it's so much easier. Showing up for yourself, man. It costs. I don't know how much it costs. I think it's free. I might be mistaken, but I feel like it's free to show up for yourself, bro. And I'll be looking at people like, just do it. Just do it. Just do it for a week and see what happens. See
Because
what
when
happens.
you move to that, see what happens, that space of why not? Like you really hit it on the head earlier when you're talking about I feel like a lot of people that I have these kinds of relationships, like they're always trying to articulate what it is about our interactions that makes them feel good and like the value exchange. And they always say these different things, but it's like the only value I really add is posing that question of like, there's a lot of this stuff that we don't think about for all the reasons. And even like the distance between all the things we're not thinking about, then getting to that place where it's like, I should be thinking about this and moving past that and pushing it out to like, have you thought about this? Vulnerability, like all the things because of rejection, hate, and all the things that people do when you start asking hard questions of like the discomfort, leaving a place of safety and joy and feeling good and potentially risking changing that environment. A lot of that has only reinforced my resilience of like you said, I just do it. Like you have to take that
Yeah.
risk and see it's never as bad as you thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, the thought of but it does sting a little bit to know. There's certain times where we have conversations where I was like, ooh, I didn't think about this. I didn't think about it. You made me think about I don't like this, but you were just there and you're like, hey, and you have a little what is it called? Mike glass, whatever the I can't even think of what it's called. Um magnifying glass.
Oh
You got a
yeah.
little magnifying glass and you're like, hey, did you think about this? Did you think about this? And it's like, oh, I didn't even see it from that. And then now I got to think about it. And that kind of at first it's shocking, but like you said, it's not as bad. It's like, oh, and the faster you get over it and you put your ego in check, you got to kind of like go, all right, you got to shift from modes of like, I think I know what I'm talking about. To I don't know what I'm talking about. I need to take the back seat on this one and learn. And with someone like you, it's easy to do that because you're always trying to help out. You know what I'm saying? You're there. You're resilient too. So you got the same superpowers of like you're just like me of man. We just want people to
We
really
just want to
look
help.
inside themselves because it can be. I don't know. The people need to be more like the anime Dragon Ball Z of like how Goku looks at life of just going trying to be better every single day because you can do it. You don't have to like age all that. I really don't even see it like I really believe that you can get better, and I think we truly believe this. You can
Mhm.
get better every single day. You know what I'm saying? It's something that is with inside of us, but I feel like the way the world's set up and you know what I'm saying? It's externalized. A lot of the things I feel like you sent me a Dr. K video. Um, when he was talking about that, is a lot of this stuff, social media is externalized stuff. So
Man.
we look outside of ourselves more than we look inner. But it's like, man, resiliency is invisible. It's not something like you can't manage. It's like when in Dragon Ball, they're like, your power level's not over 9,000. Like, you can't even gauge mine. You don't know who I am when I walk in the building because my resiliency is invisible. You don't know that. I don't have no tattoos. I don't got nothing showing you that I'm resilient, that I'm built for whatever situation comes that I believe. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm putting 100% belief into whatever I'm doing. And no one can see that coming. So it kind of shocks people sometimes. But it's like, that's where I feel like if you do that work and the more people do that work, they can unlock that for themselves. And that's something that's bigger than just us. And that's something that is like, we can take and move forward. And I would want to see more people do that. Because then it's like, whoo, you know, a lot of people, you get to learn a lot more. We'll get to see the spectrum of resiliency really built out in the community. I think that would be really interesting.
Man, you don't even know how you just cooked right there. You don't even know my head hurts because as you know, like I've seen all the Dragon Ball Z, like the entirety of it. But it's such a fantastic analogy for what we're talking about. And you just laid it out so phenomenally well that I'm like, I'm like, oh, it hurts my head because this again. I told somebody this the other day of like what makes me able to continue to do this despite the difficulty, the time constraints, and all that, and like the low budgetness, and all the pride, all the reasons people don't do stuff like that is I keep getting to this place where I'm having these conversations with people that I know and I love and I respect, and they help me get to this place. And we've captured it on video where you talk about the conversation you wouldn't think to have when you talk about resiliency, understanding that it's invisible and it's immeasurable in the way that Dragon Ball Z illustrates of like these are like literally the power scouters. There's a whole arc where they're like, this is a science. We got this down to a science. Like I can bet my life behind these numbers. And then you
Yes.
run to people who literally evolve in the
Boo-ba-doo.
moment and break that shit, break that entire system and show you how little you really know. And that allegory of in pushing each other, they break the power system over and over and over again, and you have to destroy it and rebuild it and make it better and make it greater, expand the world, get strong. Like, and that's why people love. It's why it's so popular as an anime. Of
Yes.
like people don't even consider it an anime because so many people have become enamored by it because it is such a simplistic allegory for what you're talking about. It teaches you how to be resilient, how
Yes.
to look at your improvement differently, how to
Yes.
gain strength by redefining what strength is and how to keep
Exactly.
going. You're seeing these main characters literally die.
Yeah.
Even death is not the end. Like literally dying and wishing themselves back to life, bro. Like, oh, this shit gets so deep, it's crazy. It gets
Yeah.
so deep. You think you're just watching a cartoon. You hear people talk about it and be like, oh, that's cartoons. And I'm like, if you
Nah.
only
Yes. And even Dragon Ball, you're like, oh my goodness. And like Goku with that, like the power level, he uses the strategy to beat Frieza and his team. He uses that they don't know, they can't gauge my
don't know.
Kaioken. They can't gauge these things. So he plays off that. That's a tactic that was I use all day that people don't even understand. And I'm like, man, I got straight out of anime. Because I was like, oh, he's like, they're going to use the power scouters against me, easy, and he beats them and uses that as a thing,
When they
as a
realize
tool. And
it's
it's like
too late.
it's too late. He's over 9,000, and it's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And you thought I
Got
was just
him.
a regular, exactly, a regular, and that's not what the case. Because there's certain abilities like that where it's just it plays to it. It just speaks volumes about who you are when you have certain things built out inside yourself. And I think we both realize that, and like you can see it in many different art forms, but anime, I love watching a character go through that and unlock that part of themselves of like that. Even Vegeta's, I love the work that Vegeta does to match.
Mm.
Go, nah, Goku's doing this. I'm gonna go match. That's who I see myself as. A lot of times, is like I might not be the toughest guy in the room. I might not be the highest in the room. But like I'll challenge you, I'll go right at you. You know what I'm saying? Just to be, I'll make that dynamic and push myself to a level I never even thought I could get to. And that comes back to that belief, though. Of like, nah, you know what I'm saying? Hold on. Yeah, maybe I was the dumbest in LA film school for a little bit. And then hold on, let me get there. Let me understand. Let me do my homework.
That's
let me
the
take
whole
it
reason I
serious.
came here is to no
Facts.
longer be the dumbest. If I
Exactly.
want to not be the dumbest, I have to seek the knowledge. I have to go
Facts.
get somebody got it. They got it. Where'd they get
Facts.
it from?
Yeah, and it was getting. Let me go ask somebody who's done this before. Let me go ask because these are topics and concepts I've never even close to thinking about. These are out of my stratosphere. Let me go get some help. You know what I'm saying? Like I might have to phone a friend, but I'll figure it out. I'm not opposed to that. You know what I'm saying? Of like, there's so many ways to get it done. It's like, how will I get it done? And asking the question when it comes to resiliency, it's not a can question. I want people to understand that too. It's a will you. It's will you. Now, can you?
Oh man.
Can you get it done? That's cool. Can Yeah, I can get it done. It's will you get it done? Yes, I will. You say it like that, you're like, oh, I'm already here. You got
Bro,
to get it done. Now you got to figure it
already
out.
right. Oh, you don't understand. What a big that's another huge one. Another huge button. It's not can I, it's will I. And when you
Yeah.
talk about resiliency, bro, if I had to sum it up in a statement, that would be it. That would be it 100,000 times over because that is as close to a definition of resiliency as I can get today in this time period. Because every time in my life where I feel like I have been shattered, I have been broken, and I
Yeah.
don't want to keep doing this shit. It is in that space of like, it's not can I? I know I can. I don't want to. It's in having that conversation with yourself that you realize you can choose to, like, success is a choice.
Yes.
It's a
Yes.
choice. A lot of people don't realize it's a choice, so they don't realize they're choosing not to. And they,
Yep.
you see, what I'm saying? It's the cop out. It's the copping out that prevents you from succeeding because you are giving away that power. You are giving away that choice. You are giving away everything that makes you you in the way that we're talking about and trying to unlock in people. It's hard. We don't want to talk about how hard it is and how much it hurts because we don't want to talk about how much control we have and how much control we exert on a daily basis. It's not, can I? Because can is a matter of haves and have not. You know what I mean? It's a binary system. Will I? Very different question. It's an entirely different.
Very different.
Some days I will, some days I won't.
Facts. It's different depending
It's
on the day.
ugh,
Like, do you have
man,
the willpower for that? Do you have you went through that arc yet to where you can even get to that level? If you know what I'm saying, like, did you complete the side quest over here to do this? Because if
bro.
you don't have the necessary things to get to that level and you don't understand the information when you get there, it might be too late. It might be. I don't know. I've never been on every
Might
level,
have to
but
wait for another season to
oh
cycle.
yeah, and I've definitely experienced that. There's times where I was like, I'm going to stronghold this. I am going to just punch this wall down, and I'm going to run through it, and nothing's going to stop me. And it's like that wall can't be. That's not how you have to do it. You have to. There's a
How
key
you
for
approach
it. You
that?
can just unlock it. But I'm over here trying to beat the wall down. I'm
And
using
kick the
all my
door down,
superpowers.
break it.
Yeah, for no reason. And it's like you can't. Sometimes you can't just go through things. You gotta go up. You gotta think. You gotta strategize. You might have to take the back door. You might have to do something else. But you gotta be resilient. You gotta find that way. There's gotta be something else. There's another
There's
path up. All right,
always
bet.
a way. If there's
Yeah,
a will, there's a way. And that's what
yeah,
resilience means. If you have the will,
yeah.
if you can sustain long enough, you are guaranteed success. People like, bro, oh shit, it's making my head hurt. It's making my, because everything throughout history has proven this, bro. There was
Yeah.
times man can't fly.
Yes.
That's impossible. Magic
Yeah.
is science we don't understand yet. People say that because they understand it's not if, it's not can we, it's will we look at this long enough to get the answer.
Yep.
because we know
Exactly.
the answer is accessible. That's the underlying thinking in that. When a man thinks, therefore he is. It's like, you
Yes.
seen the movie Rudy, bro?
Mm-mm.
Rudy is this old movie. It's a classic, but it's so cornily trash. It's a cult classic though, because as corny as it is a profoundly feel good movie. It has this guy, the kid from the Goonies, and he was in The Hobbit. Like that's the main star. That's the era that we're in. It's like before
Got you. Got you.
he's the main character, and it's this little. You've seen him. He's a little guy. That's why he's in The Hobbit. Like he's not a big guy. He's on this football team, and he wants to play football, but he's not big. He's not skilled. He wants to be this lineman, and he doesn't have any of the things. And the entire movie is him mind over matter. Wants to be on the team. Wants to be in the game. Wants to make a difference. And it's that classic arc of like, how bad do you want it? How long are you willing to pursue this dream? Because if you pursue it long enough, you will manifest it. You will create it. It may not be how you want it to be or how you think it's going to be. It's not like you're going to grow 6 inches and 300 pounds, but you can achieve it if you can believe it because you can remake the system to fit you. That's
Yeah.
that like the creation of manifestation is wholly tied to resilience because you cannot sustain long enough to see that reality create itself if you're not resilient.
And that is, yeah, that's 100% true. And I feel like the resiliency is such a thing to where I was coaching at one point and I was like, I want to start them early, but like how early is too early with something like that?
And
Like, because and it made me want to get away from it because I don't want them to even I want them to think about their futures in a way that is
natural,
not like, oh, I messed up, now I gotta, but it, you know what I'm saying, like of just going all the way
a
straight,
growth
going
mindset.
straight for your dream. Yeah, a whole it's a different mindset, but it's like I really want to. I feel like communicating, and why I stepped away from that is like communicating to regular people or people who have already in their wherever in life that have already sustained something, have sustained damage from something. Because these are the answers that I feel like in the therapy that they need for that. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? This type of dialogue that heals
Healing.
that type of yeah, it heals that type of trauma, knowing that like you can do it. It's someone's probably came through and had worse and done better, and that's a lot of the time where I look at certain people, I'm like, oh, my life is I'm in this arc. I'm here with everybody. I'm in my training arc,
You're
but
there, bro.
I already passed that part, or I haven't even got there yet. And
You're in
a
the
lot of
tuning
times it's that.
exams, bro.
Yeah,
You try to
it's
be a
now it's like
Jonas. You worry about
yeah,
being a Jonas. Just pass the tuning exams, bro.
yeah, it's
The
crazy.
exams is hard enough.
Exactly. That's where it's like, man, it's whew, it is tough. It's tough out here. But it'll make us into where we're the type of people where we're way more equipped, we're way more adaptable, we understand and connect better, and that's what I'm looking for. Is like, you know what I'm saying, helping other people out too, because then it'll be easier. You know what I'm saying, to have these
Bro,
conversations, and we can do more with that. That's where I'm
a
pushing.
rising tide lifts all ships.
Exactly. And it's like, I've been really thinking about that of like, man, certain people have kept the torch, lit for me. And I appreciate you, bro, for definitely like, because I didn't just get here overnight. People are starting to like look at me and they're starting to pick up on my fucking shit. And I hate it, bro, because I'm like, damn, they're catching wind. But it's like, at the same time, it's like you kept that lit for me. You know what I'm saying? You held it. So it's like now I got to do the work to, stay accountable and stay on myself
Mhm.
about that. And I think about that a lot of the times. That's what goes hand in hand with it. It's like once you succeed with resiliency, you're like, bro, it's like, man, I'm obsessive about it because I'm like, oh,
Now I
I gotta
know.
work out. Yeah,
Your
and
eyes
now I
are open.
know.
It's no
I can
longer
bounce
an
back.
unknown unknown. I know now.
Boom. Yes, exactly. It
I
is
don't know
shifted
how
into
I
a
figured it out, but I know now.
yep. Exactly. And one of the things I feel like when I'm doing that and shifting into that, one of the things I say to myself is, I have the answers now. I'll snap and I'll say, I have the answers now, right? But now check this out. I caught myself today. This comes back to what you were saying earlier. I said today I have all the answers now, and I was like, "Whoa, we're in a whole different. That's a whole different thing. You're saying a whole different thing right there, brother. Like, hold
You
on, let's
caught
stop
it.
right there." I stopped myself because I was like, "No, that's not what it is. That's where your delusion. That's where delusion starts to like. I have the answers inside of me. That's what I'm saying to myself. That's how I have it defined. Of now, I don't have all the answers.
Ah,
Because once I start going outside myself, I don't know shit, and I know I don't like, and that it goes right into there of like, hold on, now I'm talking about something that I don't even know about. Like, how did that get here? And now people are gonna be, you're not helping them. You know what I'm saying? They're doing the reverse. So I'm not trying to
man,
do that. Just do my part. You know what I'm saying? If we all do that, there's no choice but the world has to get better, bro.
it's inevitable.
It's inevitable. Perfectly said.
The
Like,
resilience to just keep being you and growing you and infecting others with all the right things, all the things you want to see in the world, all the realness of like, oh man, I ain't gonna get on my soapbox. I'm like, this is, I'm, man, I'm about to start closing this episode because at this point we've hit such a depth that it's gonna make people's heads hurt, and anymore it's gonna be too much for them when we
yeah,
talk about how this one thing becomes everything
yeah,
and it's already what we've always talked about because it's all the same thing. When you talk about the difference between I have all the answers versus I have all the answers inside me, oh bro, you don't even know what, like, that shit made my head hurt. There's gonna be people who watch this and like they're gonna have listened to this conversation and that's gonna hit them. They're not gonna have understood everything we were talking about before that moment, and they're gonna hear that and it's gonna be like, damn, I never thought of it like that. And so again, like, I, as much as I appreciate, the shout out and the recognition and like how that's always why I'm always gonna go out of my way to help you and recognize, because again, game recognized game, you give respect to get respect, but bro, you think it's me, but I'm telling you, the way you're saying I'm helping you, you're helping other people. And you're just not looking at it like that because it's not your character. But I guarantee you, there are people out here. I know for a fact, I've seen them. There's people who dying to get your time and your energy because they don't even realize what they're getting from you. They don't even realize what you're causing in them just by nature of being in proximity to you because of the work that you've done. That's the beauty of what you were talking about earlier when you talk about your power level. It's like you can't see it, bro. It's inevitable. It's invisible. This is invisible, so you don't see how it's affecting you, bro. Like, if I poison the air with the gasless odor, you don't smell it, you don't taste it, but it's in you. It's
yeah,
on. It's
yeah,
affecting you. And when
yeah,
you start realizing that, you can move differently. The that are available to you change. Everything changes. You no longer can be the same because you're not the same anymore. Everything is different now. You've moved from those quadrants. Them unknown unknowns are shifting all the time. Sometimes we move from this place. Like, that's the crazy part, bro, is we're sitting here having a conversation for over an hour about what it means to be resilient. And this conversation is helping us understand a different level of what it means to be resilient.
yeah,
And
bro.
everybody watching this is going to have a different takeaway because it's that deep. And that's my whole goal in this podcast. Is like, I'm sitting up here and people are gonna look at me like I'm some kind of authority. And I'm like, the beauty is we're having these conversations because it's stuff that we never really understand. We're gonna keep having it. We've already had these
We didn't
conversations.
prep for this. There is no preparation. He did not send any questions over,
Oh,
so I was like, "This is gonna be a conversation
there's
just to
not
have."
even
This is how
questions asked. That's what's
exactly,
crazy.
exactly. And it's a domain that I love the resiliency thing because it's a domain that I love playing in, but it's a thing that we both have. It's an attribute we both have built it out, and from the jump we both seen each other and helped each other do it. and come through a lot of hard times, bro. So I appreciate you with this and like just the opportunity. Like I said, you held it up and you held me accountable. And I think even from this, I hope that other people that see this and watch this hold me accountable too. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be holding myself accountable, but like now it's time to like, if you really truly fuck with me, hey, now push me to the. Let's all go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Let's all go to the people who want to. You know what I'm saying? But like, let's do something big. You know what I'm saying? Because this is it took a lot to get here. You know what I'm saying? Like this was not easy. This is I worked really hard for this, and I'm trying to help.
Man,
You know what I'm saying? I'm in my about to build an arc. I'm taking all applications done.
man.
You know
All
what I'm
it
saying?
takes is all you got, bro.
Exactly, bro. All it takes is all you got. I love that, bro. That's
Man,
dope right there, man.
it's literally like JJ Carey's like domain expansion, bro. Like it's the
Yes.
card, but each time you play it, it gets bigger. The bag
Yep.
gets. You're learning
Yes.
from every single battle, bro. You gotta put it all on the line, like that man Gojo said. He said, "Be greedier." I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
like we
Yeah.
would go for the home run.
Yeah. Definitely. And I'm just excited because it's other people that like this is what will happen. Someone's gonna come through and watch this, and they're gonna get that ability, and then I'm gonna see that, and then I'm like, oh, it looks like that. That's what it looks like when you do it. That's
Man,
amazing, and it's like that's the greatest part of it is like when you see someone else who's fleshed that out. Like when I see you do shit, I'm like, yo, you bounce back from what? You were down how bad? You were down 30 and came back and won by 50. That's like an 80-point turnaround. That's amazing. You know what I'm saying? In your world, I don't live in everyone else's world. I don't know what else is going on with people, but I know that they have challenges in their own ways. That where sometimes a day may look like that. Or you don't play basketball, you may do construction, but you were down 30 and came back by and won by 50 in that realm, and that is beautiful to the people who are doing that and doing that over and over and pushing the dominoes in the ways. We should celebrate those people more because that's like that is truly living, in my opinion. You know?
resilience on display, bro.
Yes, Sirski.
On display. Man, with that, I think it's safe to say, once again, we got deep.
Definitely.